Welcome to this week's edition of the Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight, brought to you by Wheels and Deals of Pomeroy and the Meigs Independent Press.
This is Carrie Rose, Meigs Independent Press, and I'm here again with Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight, and we're here again in the showroom, here to be able to bring you programs and information, and even sometimes we'll have a little entertainment on what's going on in Meigs County resources, Meigs County people, and things that are happening here. So today I have Jenny Ridenour with me, a very familiar face if you've been in the school districts, if you've been students or anything going through, because she used to work a lot in our schools, but she has a completely different position now with Meigs Soil and Water.
Yeah.
So Jenny, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, because you used to be the educator.
I used to be the educator for a little over 14 years. Decided to take a job up at Ohio University, had 2 kids attending there, so that helped pay for tuition. And if anybody knows anything that's been going on at OU, they abolished a whole lot of positions. Mine happened to be one of them, but luckily the timing was perfect. Part of the deal when they abolish the position is the tuition gets paid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for up to 2 years. So that was really good. And Steve Jenkins, who was the administrator at the Soil and Water District, was retiring. I kept in contact with everybody at the Soil and Water District while I was gone. Was gone a year and 9 months, and still helped out and did what I could, and kept in contact with Jim and them, and helped Hannah, who replaced me. Met with her a few times. She would email me or text me about different things. So I stayed in contact. Got my hunter education, so I could teach hunter education in the meantime. Still did archery in the schools program with Mid-Valley Christian, and kept involved that way, because you know that was always a passion of mine, was to do natural resource education. And when Steve found out I was getting abolished and he was retiring, they offered me the job to come back as the administrator, and I jumped all over it. And then Hannah took a job at Washington Soil and Water District as the wildlife and forestry person there. So her job opened up, but I could not knew how my schedule was when I was the educator. I was crazy. So I could not do educator and the administrator, but I could do the wildlife. And so I am the district administrator / wildlife specialist, so which is what my degree was in to begin with. So yeah, it was a great opportunity. So,
well, I know that there's a lot of different programs that Soil and Water offers, but maybe not everybody understands exactly what that encompasses and everything else. So tell us a little bit about what do you do?
Well, the mission of the Soil and Water District is to provide assistance for the wise use of natural resources for present and future generations. So that encompasses a lot of things.
It's a lot of things.
Yeah. So we have rental equipment for farmers. We have some no-till drills and lime spreaders and some seeders that we rent out to different farmers. That helps. Those are expensive pieces of equipment. They can rent them for a very nominal fee, so it helps our community farmers. We have that program going on. We also administer the Pick It Up program, which we collaborate with Meigs Industries, and they clean up trash along all the county and township roads. We've already done all the county roads in Meigs County this year, working on the township roads. They'll work on those till the end of the year, and then when January 1 comes around, we'll start back on the county roads. So that has been a great program.
I bet that's that's a never-ending task.
It's a never-ending task, sadly. That is a job that I would like to see go away. I mean, I would like to work us out of a job of picking up litter. There's really no need of it.
Litter.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. So we help with that program. We do the cleanup day. That's held. Of course, it was supposed to have been held. Then they postponed it, and it got canceled again. So they're, the 2020 COVID thing.
But we're planning on coming back.
We're coming back in May, yes.
That has been something that I can't tell you how many messages I've received on, because people plan on it. They plan for it. They're ready to get rid of their stuff, and it's amazing the amount of stuff that goes through out there. It's a huge, huge, huge program.
Oh, yes.
And it's just amazing to see those dumpsters get filled up, and of course the volunteers and just how everybody moves through there. It's amazing. The
tires that we get rid of. That don't,
and the mosquitoes
that
you get rid of
they're
not in those tires.
Yeah, it's a great event. The county commissioners help with that in the health department, so it is a very good collaboration between the 3 agencies. So we do that. We also have our conservation area out at Rutland on New Lima Road. It's 174 acres. It has a wetland. A lot of people call it a pond. It's a wetland. We have a shelter house out there with some picnic tables. Hiking trails, there's a 1.5 mile hiking trail that goes up to where the mining was on the high wall. And then there's a handicap accessible trail. We have wildlife food plots there.
It's beautiful.
If you
haven't been out there, it's beautiful.
We've had everything from baptisms to weddings.
It's a great place to take pictures.
Senior pictures. Yeah, it's a really nice place, and Jim does a fantastic job of maintaining it. We have a little outhouse restroom out there for people to use. So it's a great place to go. I've had many field trips out there with hundreds and hundreds of school kids. Watershed camp out there. We've had some adult programming out there. We had owl hikes and things like that. So that's a great event that we have out there. What else do we do?
You guys do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it's because there's other programs, because for example, as far as so maybe some of the things you don't necessarily do yourself, but you have the resources there to provide and the information to provide.
Yeah. So if anybody wants some help with their farm as far as planning, NRCS is also housed within our office, and they help with planning of water systems and feed pads and things like that for your animals. So fencing.
There's a lot of things there. I mean, there's a lot of resources as far as being able to manage your property and how to work your land and be able to use it wisely. Because there's a lot of programs other people may not be aware of. I can't remember what the name of the program was, but there was one at one point that if you removed invasive species and things like that.
There's forestry programs that do that. Yeah. So we have the tree sales that's going to be coming up in January. They are going to do that, I guess, last year because of COVID. They kind of canceled that and refunded people's money on that. But I talked to some people today, and that is a go for this year. We also do water quality. So we have 2 lime dosers that is putting lime into the stream because they are very, very acidic, and it killed all of the aquatic life in those streams. But because of the lime, it balances out, the pH thing. And so we have wildlife coming back into those streams that hadn't been there for many, many years. So, Jim also manages those, make sure they're working correctly and dosing the right amount depending on how much rain we've had. And so that's soil and water.
Soil and water. And you guys do things. Normally, you have an annual banquet.
We have usually have an annual banquet. Didn't get to have that this year. Hopefully, we'll get to have that next year. It will be usually we have them end of September, 1st of October. Usually have right around 100 people there. I don't know if most people don't know what our Soil and Water Board is, but we have a 5-member board that gets elected every year. They have served 3-year staggering terms. And that is these people that are on that board are just passionate about our county and our natural resources.
And it's taking care of what we have here.
What we have here.
Because one of the things that you see a lot of people start, especially with tourism, you're seeing all these outdoor pictures and taking advantage of the hiking and taking advantage of camping and kayaking and all these things. But if we don't maintain those resources, they're not going to be there. And Soil and Water Conservation District is one of those agencies that makes sure those things
have those
are
for future generations.
Yep, they're taken care of, and that again, if you haven't been out to the wildlife area, that is a really nice area, and it's been preserved.
Yes.
So it's not going to be developed into something else.
Nope,
so
can't.
that's really a cool thing.
And the fair, we didn't get to have that this year.
We didn't have the fair.
But we have the conservation corner that's out there, and that is a wonderful opportunity to meet some of our supervisors, to meet our staff, because somebody is always there that you can ask any question, and if they don't know the answer, they will find the answer for you. The Division of Wildlife partners with us on that, and I know one of the big draws is our reptile cage. So if you don't like the snakes, you don't have to look at the snakes. But there are lots of people that are very interested in those little snakes.
You also have monarch butterflies.
We have the monarch butterflies. Yep. So I have a whole habitat that we set up and have chrysalis that hatch out, and it's an amazing process. We have the fish tank. The Division of Wildlife Fisheries sets up a big fish tank. So there is still lots of plans and things that we want to do out there. So look for us in the future down there. It may change.
By next year.
Yeah, next year.
2021.
2021.
But again, though there's resources there, there's things for people to be able to utilize. These are Meigs County folks helping Meigs County folks.
Yeah.
So if you are a farmer, or if you have some land, or you have, all kinds of different things, they can help you out with it.
Yeah.
So get a hold of them at, how do they get a hold of you?
Up here at the office, our phone number is 992-4282. We have a website, meigsSWCD.com. All the information is on there on how to get a hold of us. So,
and you have a Facebook page?
We do have a Facebook page.
And they do use it?
Yep, and we have we have 3. So we have the conservation area has its own
page. And
then the district has its own, and then the watershed has its own. So
check that out.
Yeah.
And if you have any interest in any of those things, or you need help, just contact them and let them know. Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm glad to be back at the Soil and Water District.
I bet, because it is. I mean, you spent so much time there.
Yeah.
And I know you've educated so many of our youth, and they've been out there to that wildlife area with Jenny, and maybe some of the people watching this may not necessarily know, but I'll bet your kids do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, because now you'll get to be there through as those kids get a little bit older, a little bit different capacity, and again, not the educator, but the administrator.
But because of the wildlife specialist part of my title, I still can do some of the education stuff as long as it's wildlife related. So like the Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs event that the sheriff holds out at the Country Resort Campground, I will definitely be a part of that this year.
And we should be able to, I would hope it was a little, by May, and some of the distancing and some of the, not having to wear gloves for everything, that kind of thing. Distancing, yes, but we'll see. That's a great program. It really mentoring with those kids.
Oh yeah.
And working with those kids, and they're fishing and getting the whole idea is hooked on fishing, not on drugs. And that's something that Sheriff Keith Wood has been instrumental in getting going here, and that plays in his background too.
Yeah.
But again, is there anything else?
Nope.
That's pretty much
it. Yep.
If you have any questions, get a hold of them. And again, I'm Carrie Rose, the Meigs Independent Press here at and if you haven't been here to see this view at Wheels and Deals, you have to come check it out at some point, because it is really beautiful. I've been watching it as the sun's going down, and different times of the day, and it's always amazing. But this is Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight, where we feature someone in Meigs County that's doing things for other Meigs Countyans. So check it out, and we will be back again next week with someone else, maybe a little bit of entertainment, maybe a little bit of information, but we'll be back again with more Meigs County.